Hi, my name is YellowStar from Team Solomid, and this is my basic champion guide to Nami. Nami is really good laning phase. That's definitely a support that you would like to play in solo queue. You have a lot of sustain, a lot of damage, burst damage, and CC. So laning phase is really good. When she's a bit worse, it comes to when you're getting ganked. You still struggle, but since you're really far ahead by bullying your opponents, then if you see the enemy jungler coming, then you can be ready and face them like 2v3. This is what you would like to be. I mean, the best case scenario. You should play off the vision because once they will walk in, then you can auto sustain and then they will just instantly lose the trade. So if they have long range, they will try to just poke you down and farm as much as they can. And if not, then you will just take over the lane. So in the laning phase, when you have Nami, you should look to play really aggressive starting level 1. But playing aggressive doesn't mean that you have to walk up to them trying to attack them because you will get the minion aggro. So you have to play kind of smart and out of the minion range. So you would like to control the bush so you can poke them down. Like you walk up to them and then try to play with the vision. One auto, and then it doesn't matter if you're taking some damage because you still have the W to heal up and damage them at the same time. And then once you get level 2 and they're out of position and you can see that you have an opportunity to be able to Q them, then you should take Q level 2. If not, you should take E so your AD can apply a lot of pressure. And once you see that your AD is starting to auto attack them, you can use E spell on them and it's gonna deal a lot of damage. Nami's team fighting is okay, it's not the best, but if you can get a good ultimate, so if you have like opponents running to you and you can see that you can get a good ultimate off, then start with it. And then you can still like kite backwards, but if you manage to land the ultimate, then you can ensure the Q spell because they're gonna be bumped, and then when they're bumped you can just throw the Q spell and they're gonna be stunned for a while. So she's okay if you can land a good ultimate, but if you cannot, then she is not as useful as you would like because she's really squishy. When you're playing Nami on lane and you can get a W on your opponents, it's gonna bounce to you, and then you can make another bounce if the second enemy is close enough. So you can actually poke two of them, but it makes you in a position of danger if they have CC, for example. But let's say if they're playing a melee and a low range AD, then you should walk up to them and use W on one of them so you can get double damage. But if you heal yourself trying to damage them, then you can only bounce once. When it comes down to synergy, you'd rather play with an aggressive AD. So for example, Lucian that can dash in and that is really aggressive. So you would want to play a bully lane or an AD that scales and has a long range. But if you really want to win in solo queue, let's be honest, you have to play really aggressive and a lane bully because when you're winning lane, then you have a higher chance to win the game. You can have two rune pages with Nami. The one would be when you can get a lot of auto attacks off on the laning phase. So for example, if you're playing against a melee support, you would want to take 9 AD marks. In seals, you would go for HP flat. In blue, you would go for AP. In quints, you would take armor. The second case would be where you're playing against two range, or not two range, but two enemies that can burst you down, and you would rather like stay a bit back in order not to get one shot. So the only difference would be the red, where you would swap the hybrid pen for the AD because you won't get a lot of autos out. So it's not necessary to get AD if you can get one shot and you're threatened during the laning phase. So when it comes down to masteries, with Nami you can play her two ways. So the aggressive one would be 0, 18, 12 with the Thunderlord Decree Mastery Keystone. It's where you want to get the auto off, the W, and another auto, and then you proc the Thunderlord, and you really want to play aggressive. The other case is if they can one-shot you and you feel that you're in danger, you would rather go for the Wind Speaker Blessing, where you would just step a bit back behind your AD or something similar. And then if they focus your AD, then you have stronger heals, you have the E, and it's mainly where you don't want to be in front trying to poke them alone. For Nami skill order, you would start with the W. It brings a lot of sustain, a lot of poke on lane, and you can really play aggressive early on because the healing is just too high and a lot of damages. Level 2, you'd rather go for Q if you see that you have an opportunity. If you get 2 faster, then you could look for a bubble. But if they're like stepping really far back, then you would rather go for E, where your AD could dash in and then just proc the E. And then when it comes to maxing the spells, you would rather max W over E over Q. So you're maxing E second to provide more damages to your AD carry, and a support is someone that is looking to increase, because Nami is really like lane bully and she must have an advantage on laning phase, and giving your AD more damages, more sustain is gonna make him be stronger, and this is what you're looking for. For the Nami item build, you'd rather go for 3 potions and spell thieves early game. And then when it comes to the first back, if you have the money for Sidestone, then sure, afford it. But if you have a little extra, for example, if you have 1000, I'd rather go for the spell thief upgrade, so you can get a lot of money poking, and you have a ruby that makes you a bit tankier, and you have a pink ward to make sure that you won't get ganked, or at least if you get ganked, you will see the jungler walking through river trying to kill you. And then when it comes to items after that, you would want to go for the lucidity boots to have a lot of cooldown reduction. And after those lucidity boots, you'd go for locket, where it's going to provide you protection and CDR. And then after that, you'd go for the ghosties, and probably you would go for Ziki second item. So it's gonna make your AD way stronger, and you will have a lot of CDR. Thanks for watching this basic champion guide. Make sure to check out the rest of the guides over at lordclass.com.